Hey guys, welcome back to Verified. I'm here with Shane and Carlos. How you guys doing today?
I'm
Amazing.
doing well.
Yeah.
So what are you going to interview us about?
Yeah,
Now you see what it's like, Libby, okay?
I get it.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Verified Podcast. My name is Shane.
My name is Carlos.
Guys, today we have a little bit of a story starting the interview today, and then she's going to be talking about how she fell out of a window. Guys, I feel like these episodes are just getting more bizarre as we go, and just expect that from then on. And then she's going to be talking about her possible career future. She wants to become an attorney, and she'll dive into that really exciting stuff, guys. We got a lawyer on the show. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Libby. Libby, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm sure Carlos is doing great, but this is a question from Carlos. Libby, can you
Yeah.
please describe your story of falling out of a window at a young age of 6 years old?
Yeah, so I was just hanging out behind the couch in my living room, and
Mhm.
I saw that my neighbor's dogs were out in the backyard playing, and I was like really interested in that, and I just thought like why not look out the window at them? But then the window wouldn't get the view that I wanted. So I opened it
Okay.
and I pushed on the screen a little bit, and I was kind of a big kid, a little chunky. So
You leaned on the screen. What happened?
so I like pushed through the screen, and I was on the second floor of my house, and I fell through the screen, and I went face first into some prickly bushes. Yeah, and so I started crying for like 10 minutes, and then my parents finally came out, and they didn't even do anything really. They just slapped a Band-Aid on me and called it a day. Yeah, I actually remember what the Band-Aid looked like, so
Was it Band-Aid brand?
Could you describe it to us?
yeah, it was clear on the outside, and then it was yellow with a smiley face, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So
Okay.
I didn't
It's one of
care.
the fancy waterproof ones. That's cool.
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
this inspired you to become an attorney.
no.
Dang it. I thought we were going to have a good segue. So there has to be like so many legal repercussions behind something like that. Like suing people and lawyers sue people and you want to become a lawyer. Let's go.
It was my grandpa. He's a jag. Well, he was. Do you know what
A
a jag
what?
is? It's a nickname for like attorneys that are like also in the military, like they're military attorneys.
Oh,
I was always really argumentative as a kid and like kind of
still
still
are.
now. Yeah.
Sorry.
But like my grandpa's just like into like history and all that stuff. So
I don't blame him. It's amazing.
Like, is this
you,
what
have-
is this
you have
like
to
what
go to,
you know you want to do?
So what type of lawyer are you trying to be?
I want to be a civil litigation lawyer.
Do you want to, I guess, break down what that is? Because I don't know.
Yeah, they deal with like contract disputes and like they like property disputes and like they're the ones that file cases against like the city basically. Like we had to learn about all those Supreme Court cases and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like that.
Where did you draw the most experience from, like being able to argue and like debate with people and all that stuff?
I'd honestly say like growing up like with my parents, I feel like every time that I would be getting in trouble, I'd turn it into an argument and I'd have to argue my side of the story to get out of it. And I think I just became like really good at that because like most of the time their cases were just invalid and I was just right all the time.
Sorry, Mom. You're
I
wrong.
love it.
Are you like
You wanna do it?
facts and logic? Like
Yeah, I always like okay, have you guys seen my Instagram stories?
I've seen them. Some of them are pretty political. I've
Yeah.
seen, and
Yeah.
I don't want to say like what you posted or haven't. I don't know like what because they all blend together. Honestly, I don't know. So I don't want to
No,
mistake
yeah.
anything.
No, I'm definitely very political and like
Respect that.
I like
Mad respect.
to voice my opinions.
You should.
And I think that like when I post up on my Instagram story, it's because I want to like use my platform to promote like what I think is right. And like sometimes like people like slide up on my Instagram stories and they're like trying like kind of have a debate, which I love. Like I get really excited about it. And like this one kid and me like got into a debate and he was like talking, he was like, well, where'd you get these facts? Like talking about George Floyd, like how do you know he was killed because of his race and stuff? And I was like, the news.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know what news channel you're tuning into, like Fox News or something.
Ooh,
But
Right.
yeah,
I'm just gonna say,
controversial.
I just to, like, it'd be like the most basic thing I could say is like, you want as many perspectives as possible, but with that comes a lot of like complexity, and I think there's way more than just two sides. I mean, I think
I think that
we want perspective, we want everything, but it's just super complex.
like it's like a web. Like there's two main like leaders or like spiders, but like the spiders create webs that like lead all different directions.
That's your knowledge bomb for the day, folks.
Yeah.
So
That's
in
all you need to hear.
in the Republic,
So a lot of the time, lawyers have like a negative connotation. I mean, people think lawyer and they think like someone who's only in it for, like for the money, someone who's only looking to like kind of just get their case done, like do the best they can or say that they're gonna do the best they can and then move
Yeah.
on. And I recently watched Just Mercy. If you haven't seen it, it's a great movie. People out there,
Oh,
if they haven't seen it, it's a great movie.
I've read
And
the book.
yeah, read the book
yes,
or
and
probably read
Brian
the book.
Stevenson is like the most prime example of someone
Yes.
of an attorney who like is the exact opposite of the narrative that people have created for attorneys. So what are your kind of thoughts on that? Like,
I mean, I read the book Just Mercy freshman year. Like I didn't necessarily finish it because we were like cut short on time, but I read like parts of
mhm,
it and I thought like what Brian Stevenson was doing was really cool because like I think that like there's a lot of issues that like revolve that are really political in this country and I think that like a lot of people are more focused on like money and earnings and income, like just
mhm,
like lifestyles and stuff like that opposed to like actually making a change in America and like I don't necessarily like go along those lines. Like, I'm not going to say that like I'm not expecting to get paid as an attorney because like I
right,
have to make an income to provide for myself.
right. It's
But
a
like,
job.
exactly. But like, I would love to and be definitely willing to work any cases that I can to like help any person that like isn't able to afford an attorney if they want my help.
Mhm.
So do you think you're gonna go along the pro bono route of being a lawyer?
Yeah, I think I'll definitely do as much pro bono work as I can. But in the end, I still have to make a living. Yeah.
In the movie, I noticed that it was like at one point when Brian Stevenson was going to do like he was obviously working on this case, and at one point he got like he was getting like really personal with this family that he was working with, and they mentioned how that's like not normal for a lawyer to do. And when I was watching the movie, I was like, I don't understand that. I mean, I guess a normal lawyer would be like working on many cases at one time. But like for you personally, I don't know if you know for a fact like if you're gonna do this, but like when you're working as an attorney, do you plan on like trying to get like I don't know, I guess like personal or like really trying to get to know who you're working with so you like kind of build a good relationship with them?
I mean, I think if you're gonna defend somebody, you definitely have to like get to know them personally. Like you have to understand
Mhm.
their story and like themselves as a person, and like how are you gonna argue a person's like standpoint, I guess you could say, in a courtroom in front of like a judge and like people judging them if you don't even know them yourself.
Right.
I agree with everything you just said, which I think is one of the big issues with the system of law right now. The lawyers that you are provided with when you have no money to get a lawyer, you don't have an option to. The people that you get are working like thousands of cases a week or like a month.
I think that's like a big issue with like our system, like our governmental system these days. Like, I think that's like kind of messed up that you're just like throwing cases on attorneys that like necessarily they don't have like much time or interest in actually like defending the person. And I think that's just because
Mhm.
they're okay with like them being like incarcerated or like worse when it comes to that stuff. And like I think sometimes it's more of like a flip of a coin if they actually get a good attorney or not. But I think that like there's a lot of ways you could go about it where you could like organize it into like sections of like cases that are really similar and then come up with a strategy for like all the cases in that stack and find an argumentative point for each case. You know what I'm saying with that?
Libby, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. If you want to go ahead and follow us on all your favorite podcast listening platforms, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can also check us out on YouTube at The Verified Podcast. You can like and subscribe and watch all the podcast videos there. It's just a normal podcast with our faces. It's great. It's wonderful. So if you guys like watching videos, you can go head over there. You can follow us on Instagram at The Verified Podcast. You can click our link in bio to get all your favorite podcast listening platforms. You can get the link to our YouTube and the link to get your very own Audible free trial if you want to check that out. But guys, thank you so much for listening once again, and we'll see you guys next week for new episodes. Bye.
Mom, go away. I'm recording a podcast. Recording a podcast.
What? Did you just say condom?